Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we will be talking about the 2028 presidential election. For now, we are going to take a break, take a pause from looking at the 2024 race and look ahead in the future. Now, this is entirely speculative. No candidates have announced for 2028, I don't think, unless there's some unknown people that don't have any chance. But this is just a fun video. Again, this is just pure speculation. But, this is going to be heavily based on my 2024 prediction. It all matters what happens in 2024. Who's elected, because that means that they or their vice president would probably run in 2028, after 2024. But anyway, this is my current 2024 prediction, what you're looking at now. I think that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz do take a very narrow victory in the Electoral College. They win 277 electoral votes. Trump and J.D. Vance win 261. So that means that I think, they're going to win the presidency, and that really likely means that they run again together in 2028, considering Kamala Harris is not a Joe Biden where she is much younger, and she definitely would have the ability to serve a competent 4 more years. So, on the Democratic side, I have Kamala Harris and Tim Walz as the nominees of the Democratic Party. Now, on the Republican side, I feel that it only makes sense to put Donald Trump's VP in right now. There's a great draft article for the 2028 election in Wikipedia, and they outline dozens of candidates, especially on the Republican side. There are just so many to choose from, but I think, through and through, I don't know how well he would do in a GOP primary, but right now I guess you have to give J.D. Vance, right? You have to say that he is in the best position to be the GOP nominee. I assume Donald Trump is done after this. How old is he right now? He is currently, 80? 79? Oh, okay, 78. So he is currently 78 years old. So that means in 2028 he would be 82. I don't see it. I don't think that he will run again. So that means I'm putting J.D. Vance. And then I think that Nikki Haley is really striving for a future in the primary, and or in the party. And I'm sure she will run again in 2028 if she makes a solid splash at it. J.D. Vance could pick her to unite the party. J.D. Vance is more MAGA, while Nikki Haley is more moderate. So with that being said, let's get into this election prediction. Again, this is going to be very loose. I can't look at numbers or anything because we don't have any numbers for this race. But yeah. Anyway, let's just get started. So Kamala Harris, I will say right off the bat, I bet when she's elected, I do think that she will be elected, and then I think that, like every recent president really, I feel that her approval rating will drop significantly, at least by election day. So just keep that in mind. But then again, J.D. Vance is not a strong candidate. Again, very awkward, very out there with his views, very extreme with his views. Why did that rectangle just appear? Okay, there we go. So I don't think that either of these candidates will be particularly strong. I must say that. So let's see. California, Oregon, Washington, Hawaii, Illinois, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. I'm actually putting Rhode Island in toss-up right now. Vermont, Maine's 1st District, Delaware, Maryland, and Washington, D.C. are all safe for Kamala Harris. I believe the safe states for J.D. Vance and Nikki Haley will be Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, probably not Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska at large, Nebraska's 3rd District, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia. And then I think that Iowa actually does become a safe state. That is trending heavily towards the right. But then likely states, I believe that Rhode Island and New Jersey do narrow up. These 2 states are trending towards the right, trending Republican. Maine is likely. New Mexico is likely. Colorado is likely. No, Colorado is actually a safe state. Because that one is trending heavily towards the left, towards the Democrats as well. Minnesota becomes safe. That's trending a little to the left. And you have Tim Walz, of course. It'll be close to being safe in 2020. But with that trend, it probably becomes safe. As for J.D. Vance and Nikki Haley, they win Montana, Kansas, Missouri, and Indiana by pretty good margins, as well as Nebraska's 1st district. But these areas are trending left quite a little bit. So, and J.D. Vance again is a very weak candidate, especially in rural areas, I feel. When you look at his 2022 performance in Ohio, the part of the state that trended most towards the Democrats was actually Appalachia. So he is not a good candidate in the rural areas. So these states I could see trending to the right. Maine, or we'll get to Maine second, but South Carolina could be lean, but I'll keep it likely as of now. And then, let's see. Sorry. And then Alaska stays likely, and then that's it for now. The lean states for Kamala Harris, this is 1 to 5% margins. First of all, we do have New Hampshire. I think that this state will continue to trend towards the Republicans in these future years. Oh, I think that Virginia is actually safe. I think that, I don't know how I forgot about it, but I think that over these years, this state, Virginia, is going to trend towards the Democrats. Especially Kamala Harris, I feel like she would be able to turn out Democrats really good in Virginia. It'll be close to being safe this year in 2024, actually. And then moving on, let's see. So Florida is trending heavily, as we all know, heavily towards the right. If it was a bit stronger of a GOP candidate, I could see it being safe. But for now, Florida is likely for J.D. Vance. And then we have Ohio, which is safe. I forgot to characterize this one here because J.D. Vance is from the state. That definitely helps. And also, it's trending towards the right. I'm actually going to put it likely. Likely seems more reasonable. Because J.D. Vance isn't even a strong candidate himself, so it's not like he's going to help tremendously at winning his home state. And then, moving on, I think that Pennsylvania is a likely state. Kamala Harris wins it by a good margin. I feel that, it seems like if you have a normal Democratic candidate and a weak Republican candidate, seems like Pennsylvania and a lot of other states very easily go to the Democrats by pretty good margins. I mean, take 2022, for example, the gubernatorial race. So Pennsylvania, I think, will go to Kamala Harris by a likely margin in this scenario. As well as Michigan, I think that she will be able to turn out Democrats here. And again, J.D. Vance has zero appeal in these areas. So as long as Harris turns out the Democrats, then she does win these states by good margins. Now, moving on, I believe that this is difficult here. But yeah, I don't think that any other states will be likely. But moving on, I think that Texas is lean for J.D. Vance. This is a state that's trending heavily towards the Democrats year by year by year. And then we have Nebraska 2nd District. That's likely. I forgot about that one. Maine 2nd District is lean. I feel like, Trump made it more partisan, so it's going to go towards Republicans anyway. But he does have a special effect, only Trump himself does, in Maine 2nd District. Now we move on. I think that Nevada would go lean for Harris. I think that Arizona would go lean for Harris. Again, J.D. Vance is just such a weak candidate. I doubt he could even win a Republican primary. He's just too unlikable. Kamala Harris would crush him in any sort of debate. I think that Kamala Harris wins North Carolina, but I'm going to say she loses Georgia. I think over time North Carolina is going to trend towards the Democrats faster than Georgia does. So Georgia does stay with Republicans. That's in line with my current election map. But you can see Kamala Harris does flip the state of North Carolina. And then we have Wisconsin, where I do feel like, I know it's crazy to have Michigan and Pennsylvania likely Democrat, but honestly, I see Wisconsin shifting shifting right over the years, and Michigan and Pennsylvania shifting left over the years. So this is my first official 2028 election prediction. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz win re-election with 293 electoral votes. J.D. Vance and Nikki Haley, as the ticket, lose with 245 electoral votes. So thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe down below. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. So if you could help me out with that, that would be great. Again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later.